Okay, this is for Activity 5.5a, CAD Model Features, Part 1. We'll be looking at a number of different things here. This is going to be working in both sketch and modeling, so 2D and 3D. We're going to start with this rubber-handled sleeve part from a button maker, and this is going to be the thing that we're going to start seeing is more of these drawings, and we'll be working from them. Now, as you're doing this, we'll be looking at finding dimensions, and it's important to look at where dimensions are in here and using them well. So from this, looking at this size here, we're going to create just this half of this cutaway sketch here and use the revolve function. So we're going to start by creating this sort of L shape suggested here, and then we have to find a few dimensions. So in our sketch, let's start by creating that L shape. Now we don't have specific dimensions yet, so we're just going to kind of create this shape, and then we'll start putting in the dimensions. So to start with, let's go with the longest dimensions, and that's the 4.469 overall length, and then we have a 0.156 dimension as well. So 4.469 and 0.156. So we're going to use the dimension and put that length in, 4.469. And this little piece up here shouldn't be that long. It should be just 0.156. So we've got those two dimensions in there. Double check that. 4.469, 156. Good. Now the remaining dimensions here we're trying to figure out is based on this line that's through the middle of this shape, since this is going to be a revolve. So we need to create a construction line above our shape and then set some dimensions for that. So I'm going to actually size this a little bit differently so I can see both my windows at one time. I'm going to create a line and then a construction line, which is all the way over towards the right near the finished sketch. And when we do that, this line that we put in will be just a dashed line. Now we want to make sure that that is got a few other constraints on it, that it is parallel to this bottom line here that is horizontal here. So in our constraints, use the parallel, make sure that that is happening. Good. And then we're going to start setting our dimensions. Now we have this diameter, according to this, of 0.1875. So when we do a dimension from that construction line to this top line here, which is going to be this line on our drawing, the inside of this small circle, we're actually not putting in the 0.1875 because we're just putting in a radius. But we can make the computer do the math for us. So we're going to put 0.1875 divided by 2. If you don't get that divided by 2 in there, that will cause problems. So make sure we get that. And then we're going to look at this overall size here. The overall outside dimension is 1.375. So again, we're going to create that as a radius. So we're going from our construction line all the way to the bottom line here. And that's 1.375 divided by 2 for a radius. that stretches that out a little bit. Then we have the thickness of the wall here is 0.25. So we're going to put in that dimension, which is between these bottom two lines. Now that's not going to be a radius this time. That's that actual dimension, 0.25. And now we have it all in blue, which means we're fully constrained. We've got all our dimensions in that we need. But that doesn't mean we're done. There is additional dimension. It says there is a radius here, a rounded off corner that we're going to do on this corner here and this corner here. That's a fillet, and it's a 0.25. The TYP means that anywhere you see a radius, we can say that it's going to be that amount. So we put a fillet in there. Now one thing I noticed is this comes out a dashed line, which means I still have my construction turned on. So I'm going to back up and make sure construction line is turned off and put that fillet back in there. So we get a solid line. Alright. Now we have that completely done. We're going to finish sketch on that. And we're going to revolve this. So this is a new command, revolve. It selects a profile just like extrude of what's going to happen, and then the missing bit is an axis. The axis is going to be that construction line that it revolves around. When we get that, it creates a shape all the way around and has the holes in the middle because of the way we set it up. So we've got that rubber handle. And we can go ahead and check that, and we're finished with that. So we're going to save this. When you save as, and you're putting this on your student drive, you need a new folder. So create a new folder, and this will be 5.2. Let's see what it's called. 5.5 CAD Model Features. So 5.5 CAD Model Features is going to be the folder for the things that are going to go in here. This first one is handle, and we'll save that. So that's the first part of this assignment.